Um, you can see so far on the monthly, right? We're relatively unchanged from yesterday, right? We had closed around this level. Actually, we had closed the 8 level, moved lower in the overnight. We closed back up. You can see right now we're trading 47.90, so just a little bit still above that magical 47.68 equilibrium that we've been tracking for a couple months now, I would say. At least for 2 months, probably we've been tracking that level. But for the most part, relatively unchanged here on the month. So switching over to the weekly, you can see we got that -4 week last week. We basically just opened up, didn't get back below the previous week settle, indicating a trapped momentum on the weekly, right? These sellers just stuck trying to push the market lower, get that short covering trade all the way up above the previous week's high. We're kind of trading into this very kind of weak spot here, I guess, where we don't have a lot of trading done. We can kind of see a little bit of an equilibrium starting to develop right around this 48.04 level. I'm more concerned really with just this 47.68. That just has been the key level lately, and I think will continue to be the key level as long as we keep closing above there. Market looks to be fairly strong. We start to get some closes below there, then we can probably sense some weakness and start targeting 730. Switching over to the daily, you can see we've gone from one time framing down to now one time framing up. Did make a new high yesterday, marginally. Nevertheless, still a new high, 48.04, 48.04 quarter. On a daily time frame or daily perspective, I would classify that as a starting to get this kind of shape developing here on a time frame, so a larger time frame. We still want to, kind of understand that we're trading in this balance here, and so this is just kind of a balance. 47.68 still center of our balance, so if we stay above there to continue up, failure to stay above there starts to target that -4 close, and it'll just be something kind of to pay attention to. So on the daily too, another thing that we want to draw from this is that we're for the most part inside yesterday's range. Right? We did peak above it by 3 ticks, but we came in, ended up closing that 47.9275, trading inside the previous day's range. So we get this really outsized day to run off all these shorts, and then we start to balance. You can see the market right off that 47.68. That's exactly what for the market happened yesterday during the so it's just such a key advantage of zooming out to maintain your perspective every day. It really just helps you in the bigger picture. Been watching this week or the past couple of weeks, or want to go back to yesterday's video, you'll be able to see what we talked about. You got the bounce off the 47.68, and excuse me, you got the bounce off the 47.6750, so you got about 2 ticks lower than than we were expecting. But for the most part, we just trended up for the rest of the day. We did get a little bit of an interesting liquidation here from the high. We peaked above the high and then started lower. A little bit of an inside bar, continued the one time frame period, was an outside period. It got a liquidation, but covered and finished back up. Now, if you look at the profile, you really can see this peak. Not as like significant, I guess, as some of the other P's that we've seen lately, but it is definitely shaped with a little bit of excess on the high. Kind of get this little 45 degree. You can see Globex went up there and kind of tapped that exact high, and so far it's just kind of trading in this upper distribution. So that's really what we want to do today. Some key levels that we want to pay attention to is, I think, this M pullback pulled right back to the period high. Right lines here. Then we have another pullback level. It's D low. He kind of pulled back to this C high. Then that's really where the breakout started. So that's kind of the key level, I think. Talk about opportunity. So today we're going to be opening up inside the previous day's value, right? For the most likely. As far as news goes, we really don't have any. We've got some wholesale crude oil, obviously Wednesday 30 always, but for the most part, not much news. And so as today kicks on, what we want to be paying attention to are a couple of these levels. If the market starts to find acceptance under that 83, if we are to break value area first, target is going to be that 76. So you have some opportunity there to go with this down to the 76. Now, we saw sellers struggle here yesterday, so you may get a turn there and then turn back to upper distribution. Remember, when we're in a balance, you've got to be very careful because it really just depends on what overall is kind of. So if we were to smash all of these profiles together, does really get this balance, and now we're in a 6-day balance or 7-day, and see where the distributions are. See where the fall off is at. See this weak spot here develop profile right around that 73. Got our 68 right below that, acting kind of gravitational pull. Volume point is 50. So that's why I'm saying, you may get an opportunity to get short today down towards that 76, but if there's no acceptance under that 76, market may rally back up towards that 2, back to this double distribution look balance. And so, right, you have to treat each one as a balance. I know we're in a larger balance, right? This is one big balance with these distributions. If we get to the low, and I mean, it really comes back to the basics here. Have a profile, have unfair high, value, we have our unfair low. So we have our unfair high here, value, and then this small area is our unfair. So at this price, if sellers don't find acceptance and turn an unfair low into an acceptable spot to get short, well, then you're going to return back up to a spot where prices are agreed. Find acceptance under that level, then there's decent odds of trading back towards that 68, back towards the 5 area where prices have been agreed. So you just want to, understand that's kind of the situation that we're dealing with, like a balance with balance. Just got to exercise a little bit of caution today. Got some decent moves, and really we're just staying patient and trading what the market gives us, and it's been this year so far. We're only 10 days in, but 10 decent days, shake a stick at. Now, Nvidia squeezed up all the way to 543 yesterday. Um, Damn, see that? Get off the market. Pretty big move. We'll see kind of where Nvidia opens up today. It looks like it's trading 534, still trading up. But so far, we're looking at play number 1, right? We're going to be opening up inside the prior day's range. So one thing we'll look for on the upside is a break of this 4801, right? Which would be the value area high. We'll look really for it to kind of hold early. Like, I'd like to see this 98, 96. You've got the 92 settle there. And really, kind of your settle will be really your break point. should we break either side of value first, right? If we break value area high and you get in a long, you don't, it's 92. If you break value low first, get a pullback and get an opportunity short, you don't really see it get up 70. That's nice because it's nice and right in the middle. We're going to be opening up very, next to that settle, so should give you some opportunity even early on, possibly if you. As far as the upside goes, right, we can look back at some of our other profiles on this breakdown, and you can see we had this larger balance up above. So if we were to kind of smash this together, you get this distribution here, small distribution, and you've got settle, which was also the weekly close, which was also area we saw +4 on the monthly. So above that, you definitely short. Then another thing also, and it's a very key thing, is don't fight the overall trend, right? This is an important thing why we always zoom out mornings to see what the monthly trend is, work our way in profiles, because it can get a little bit biased and it can lead you to being unable to maintain perspective and really put you in a bad position. So that's always something to keep in the back of your mind or keep on your desk, right? Write down the number 4820. Okay, short. And I'm disobeying the rules of the day, right? Because if you're taking a day trade, we squeeze up here, and all of a sudden you're getting short here at 4820. One, you're not trading with where developing value is at, which we is the most important. Two, you're trading against a big. Also, three, if I want to put some icing on the cake, we looked at the COT report on Monday, indicating that most of this time spent back here on this COT, pull over the COT for you, in this profile was longs getting long. So this is probably them getting long here, right? And so we're now kind of in that area where they got long. We had momentum shorts get short, cover. So what do they have to do when they're covering? They have to buy. We get this big position. Big money still wants to continue to get long. They're looking for sellers, which we call short money. Right? And the reason it's called short money is because they're short in time, right? Whereas long money is able to hold a position for a long period of time. Short money isn't necessarily notional value, but it's just the amount of time that they're able to hold the position, that they're willing to hold the position. Right? And that's kind of what differentiates a lot of things is, let's say you were to buy a stock and it's trading for $10. Well, this year it goes down all the way to $1, but 5 years from now it's up at $50. Well, are you a genius because your stock that you had went down 90%, then it went up 500%? So are you a genius, or did you just have the long money and that gave you enough time to hold the position to become a winner? Right? And so you've got to think about, for us, for most of us, we're day trading or swing trading. So we're short money traders, not really looking to hold a position for a year or 6 months, even looking to hold it for the day, maybe the week, maybe the month, right? But that's still going to be a short time frame when you compare that to banks and hedge funds. And so you got to be cognizant of that. Realize that the trend is still up. There's no doubt about that. One time framing up on the monthly. So, you know, get this little opportunity for a pullback, but don't get distracted by noise, because if we get back above that 4820, probably going to be some fireworks of some people getting stopped out. money for the past 2 weeks that have been getting short up at this high, and now they feel like they're a genius making a real lesson today is respect. But other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure that you're managing risk and sticking to your trade plan, and I will see you guys.